What's going on, everybody? I'm Terrence, and this is Bank Shipping. All right, guys, I can't really say good morning because it's actually lunchtime when I started recording. So happy lunchtime. Go ahead and get you something good to eat. But we have been turning and burning. Didn't really record much because I've been trying to get in and out of all these places. But hopefully everybody had a good Memorial Day weekend. Here in Virginia, it was cold and rainy, unlike a normal Memorial Day weekend. But made the best of it. Still got to cook out, eat some good food, be with friends, be with family. Remember those who paid the ultimate sacrifice for our country, for our freedoms. And that's what it's really all about. So, enjoyed the long weekend. Now we back at it. Dropped off the customer load of insulation up in Baltimore. I was supposed to go to Aberdeen, but they switched it to where I went to Baltimore today and Aberdeen tomorrow. So I had a load already in the Baltimore area that I was supposed to pick up. So I ended up getting there earlier than I thought, which worked out fine because at first they said it wasn't going to be ready until like lunchtime. But when I got there, they had it ready. So I got loaded right up. So after I dropped in Baltimore, I went to Elkridge, picked up another load of scaffolding, small load of scaffolding. It was only like 5,000 pounds. So even though I'm running this semi, I'm still hauling some pretty light stuff at times, even lighter than what the insulation weighs. But it still pays me good. They pay me a full truckload rate. I'll take it. So we got loaded in time. They had everything ready. And we just got down here to Glen Allen about 20 minutes ago. And this stuff, basically they needed it right away. So they pretty much had me unloaded and it's already about to get loaded on another truck to go out to a job site. So it only took them 20 minutes to get me unloaded. So now I'm gonna go ahead, get off of here because we gotta head back to Winchester to pick up another load of insulation. That load that actually goes to Aberdeen, Maryland in the morning. So I'll catch y'all in a little bit. All right, guys, so we have made it back to the yard. Got to the customer and they were slam packed busy. So it took me a little longer to get loaded than normal, but it happens from time to time at that customer. They have a lot of orders going out at one time, every once in a while, where it just is a pain, especially if you're in a step deck, being as they only have one step deck bay. You gotta wait a long time. So, but it allowed me to get some phone calls done that I needed to and get some paperwork, catch up on some paperwork, so that I didn't have to do it when I got home. So that's a plus, making that positive out of a negative, like I always say. But so we got loaded. This goes to Aberdeen, Maryland, in the morning. So we are done for today. So while I have some time, kind of wanted to talk about the art of trucking. Now, I call it an art because I look at it as a craft. I look at it as taking skill to do this job correctly. You guys know me, you know my channel if you watch. I don't normally tell anybody what to do. I say what my opinions are and let you form your own opinion or go your own way about it. I don't give specific numbers on anything because there's a lot of factors and variables that could sway those numbers. Too many that I'm comfortable with saying, this is what you're going to make, or this is how things are going to be. There's just too many variables for me to comfortably say that. But with that being said, when it comes to the industry, there's some things that I feel pretty strongly about. And, a lot of it has to do with being professional. At the end of the day, we are called professional drivers. You know, whether you're in a semi, CDL hotshot, non-CDL hotshot, no matter what you're in, at the end of the day, we're professional drivers. This is what we do for a living. You know, and if you talk to a lot of the old timers, they'll tell you that this industry has gone to hell in a handbasket. And a lot of that's true. Some will blame it on the government and the regulations and things like that, which that is some fault to them for all those regulations and things like that. But some of those regulations that we have came from ourselves, you know, and then a lot of times we're our own worst enemies. You know, people complain about parking spaces. You know, there's not enough parking because certain businesses won't let you park there. But have you ever gone to the truck stop and seen the bottles of pee everywhere and the trash all in the parking lots? You know, like, people just don't care. Well, that's why a lot of places don't want you to park at their establishment. You know, we have to be better. We have to be the professionals, because at the end of the day, that's our job. You know, we have to take care of ourselves, our business, you know, and it starts with yourself. Because if you don't respect yourself enough to be in this business, then how is anybody else going to respect you as a businessman or a businesswoman? They're not, you know. And that goes for, you know, wearing the proper clothing. You know, if you show up at an equipment manufacturer or an equipment rental company and you got to load some heavy machinery and you hop out in flip-flops and they turn you around because you don't have boots or steel-toed shoes or whatever, then that's your own fault. There's nobody else to blame but you. Not only is it for your safety, it's a liability on their part if you get hurt. You know, showing up in decent equipment, with your equipment in good shape. Now, I'm not saying that you got to be in a long-nosed Pete or KW. It don't have to be nothing fancy. Whatever you're driving, whether it's a Pete, a KW, a Volvo, a Mac, a Freightliner, whatever. Even in your hotshot, if you're a Ford, Chevy, Dodge, whatever, at least have it in good working order, truck and trailer, because that's part of respecting your equipment. And just like respecting yourself, if you don't respect your equipment, how can you expect anybody else to? You can't show up in raggedy equipment and then get mad when the forklift operator bumps your trailer too hard, because you obviously ain't shown no respect to the trailer. So how do you expect anybody else to do? He might think, oh, it's raggedy trailer, it's okay if I bump it. Now, I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying that's where a lot of people may get it from. So having respect for yourself and respect for your equipment, respect for the establishment that you park at, respect for the establishments that you visit, whether you're dropping off and picking up, that stuff goes a long way. So that's why I call trucking an art. That's why I feel strongly about this industry, because a lot of times it seems like it's going downhill. Now, I'm talking to both owner-operators and company drivers when I talk about this. Company drivers, it may be a little harder because you might not be in control of some of the things that I'm talking about. But if you take little steps and everybody else takes little steps, then your company might go ahead and take those steps forward. Not saying everybody's going to, but it's a possibility. Same with owner-operators. We all get on the same page, get this industry back to how it was 30 years ago, we might be in better shape. Now, I'm not talking about 30 years ago where everybody was snorting cocaine and stuff like that to stay away. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the brotherhood and the camaraderie and things like that. How many times do you see guys just blow past somebody on the shoulder, and 9 times out of 10, you know, they probably don't even have a CB radio to ask if that driver's okay. Hell, that driver might not have a CB radio when somebody asks him. But you know what? Anytime I pass a driver on the shoulder, I ask them if they're all right. If they don't reply, then that's fine. I did my due diligence. I checked on my fellow brother. Sometimes they may say, yeah, driver, I'm fine. I'm just taking my 30. Or they might say, no, driver, I got a problem with my truck. Just trying to find somebody to fix it. Well, I normally run the same area all the time, so I might be able to point them in the right direction to a roadside service or a mechanic or a shop. It's simple things like that. Today, at my customer, another driver, he left his winch bar at his previous drop. Asked me if he could borrow mine. Sure thing, man. I'm not going to tell you no. Why would I tell you no when you're trying to do your job just like I am? Go ahead and use my winch bar, and then on your way, you can get you another one. It's that simple. It's the brotherhood. A lot of times, I mean, it almost seems like it's gone. And we need to get that back. That's why I feel so strongly about it. That's why I'm so adamant about it, is getting everybody back on the same page. Like I said, I know everybody's not going to do it. But it's contagious. So the more people that do it, the more people that's going to follow suit. You know, when we talk about rates, people complain about rates are in the dumps. Not so much now. They're starting to come back up. Well, not starting. They are back up, and they're back up pretty good. But you know how we keep those rates up there like that? We stop going for less. We stop being so cutthroat. You always hear trucking's a cutthroat market. It's a cutthroat industry. Always has been. It ain't got to be like that. You know, if there's a load for $2 a mile, why call and say, hey, I'll take it for $1.90? Call and say, hey, I'll take it for $2.50. If the broker says, hey, man, I booked this load, or you called about this load and it's $2 a mile, but I got a guy that's willing to take it for $1.90, will you go any lower? Tell him no. Because all that's doing is driving the rates down. But if you keep driving the rates up, and everybody keeps doing it, eventually they'll stay there. Now, like I said, this conversation has been had for many, many years. Not everybody's going to do it. But the more people that get on the same page, the better that this industry will be. Those are just some of the things that I see, and the main things that I want to put out there. You know, like I said, this channel isn't about talking about how much money you can make. It's about giving advice and motivation. If you want to know how much money you can make, you can go watch one of the other channels, because I'm not going to do it. There's too many variables. I'm not going to give you an income. I'm going to give you advice. I'm going to give you tips. I'm going to give you motivation. And then today, I'm going to give you things that I feel strongly on that I think can make this industry better. And it's nothing new. This ain't nothing that I can fully take credit for and say, hey, I just thought of all these things. No, this stuff has been said for a long time. But I think, like I said, the more I repeat it, the more people that get on board, the better it may be. So, you know, respect yourself. Respect your establishments. Respect your equipment. Respect the brotherhood of the industry. Look at yourself as a professional driver. Act like a professional driver. So I hate to go on this rant, and I'm going to go ahead and end it there. I just felt really strongly about it today, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. I may have talked about it before, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there. I'm going to talk about it till I'm blue in the face, till I make a difference. So if I never make a difference, I guess I'll be blue in the face, but that's fine. At least I'm trying to do my part. So I want to know how many of y'all are with me in doing your part. Let me know by liking this video and subscribing to the channel, and then comment down below any other suggestions that you have. I may put them in another video of mine. Hey, so-and-so said this, and it's a great idea. But let me know that you're on board to get this industry back the way it used to be. The brotherhood, the camaraderie, when people are proud to be a trucker, not just a steering wheel holder. So with that being said, everybody stay prayed up, grind hard, and stay humble.